So we have a little bit of a sermonette this morning. Okay, we've done a lot. So we have a little bit of room for the Word of God to be proclaimed. Here we go. Psalm 133, a song of ascent of David. If you are a student of the Word of God and you read the Psalms, you will see there's a bunch of Psalms in a row called a Psalm of Ascent. A Psalm of Ascent. What these songs were, these were the songs the Jews would sing as they walked towards Jerusalem. Because they're ascending towards God's holy city. They're walking up the road up to God's holy city. And there were these songs they would sing during festivals, during holy days. And this is a very short song. You can imagine Jews from all over Israel gathering, walking together, different tribes, north, south, east, and west, and they sing this song. Behold how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. It is a precious oil on the head, running down on the beard of Aaron, running down the collar of his robes. Behold how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. And you can imagine they're walking together, Jews are walking together to Jerusalem. And they're singing the song of being united. United in purpose, united in spirit, united as brothers in the Lord. And I agree, we agree with you. If you read the Bible, if you read the words of Christ, unity among God's people is a treasure to be treasured. It is something that is beautiful and good, and to possess it is precious. Living in unity, and it says, how good is it? How good is unity? It says it's like oil on your head. And back in the day, in ancient Near East, people didn't take showers, okay? They didn't have running water in their homes. And so people didn't take baths every day. So people, like in Europe, and the whole world, you smelled like not showering, right? If you didn't shower, your sweat, your stink would just hang out on you all the time. And so what they did back in the day is they used perfumes to mask that scent, right? You'd put maybe anoint it with oil, put it in your hair, make it look decent. And what people would have this oil to anoint. There's a story of Christ when a woman pours out an entire bottle of this perfume all over Christ, and it comes over him, and it's so much perfume, it's all over his feet, and she wipes his feet with her hair. And it's saying that usually you don't spend that kind of money to anoint someone because that's a lot of money. But you say, man, you know how good unity is? You know how beautiful, how pleasing unity is? It's like someone just lavishing respect upon you. Someone just lavishing affection and pouring so much anointing oil on you, it comes down your head into your beard. And the collar of your shirt's all getting oiled up. Because this person's just loving you by pouring out their value on your life. It's good to have unity. Not only that, it says other illustration. It is like the dew of Hermon, which falls on the mountains of Zion. So he's saying, imagine God's holy mountain on an early morning. You go out there, nothing's touched, and there's just dew all over the mountain. God's holy hill. It's like that, listen. And for there, the Lord's commanded to bless life forevermore. Because God is on his mountain. He's cared of it. And when you are in unity, you walk into that promise to be cared of and be blessed. So unity is a blessing. Now, what about unity is so blessed? Before I say that, let me say this. The Church of Jesus Christ is really bad at unity. We try to cheat for unity, don't we? How do we cheat? They say Sunday morning is the most segregated hour of the week. There's white churches, black churches. When I was in college, I was youth pastor at a Japanese church. That was really weird, but it's true. In Skokie, Illinois, churches tend to just be us, me and my tribe hanging out together. Not only is it broken by color, it's broken by wealth. Because there are rich white churches and there are poor white churches. There are wealthier black churches and there are poor black churches. Not only that, we also break up based on doctrinal distinctives. You have a group of people meeting together, they get in a fight over one small thing, they split. And now you have two churches that hate one another over who knows what. I mean, who knows what? I won't give an example so I don't get offended. But what we do, instead of having unity, we keep on breaking into smaller pieces and having no unity. And even the small pieces can't be united. The goal of the church is not to be homogeneous. It's not meant to be all the same people, all the same color, all the same thoughts. Then we can be friends. If you vote like me, dress like me, look like me, smell like me, we can be friends. If you're any different than I am, I want you to leave. If you're different than me, I don't want to be your buddy. That's not the call of Christ on his church. We're told at the end of all things, when this life ends and we all breathe our last and come before the throne, there will be every tribe, tongue, and nation, every color, every people. People you've never met before will be there, and they'll be your brother and sister in the Lord. And this thing here called the church is supposed to be the dress rehearsal for that. We should be a Crayola box. Many colors. We should be a people who vote differently, different opinions. But even though we have these strong things that we disagree on, the thing we do agree on is greater. Greater than who I vote for. Greater than where I work. Greater than my criminal history. Greater than all of that. I'm under the cross of Christ. And because I'm in the Christ, you are my brother. You are my sister. We are family. We're family. Now, unity sounds beautiful, but it's really hard work. It's easier to leave, isn't it? Someone annoys you, offends you, ticks you off. I'm leaving your church and going to one 40 feet away. That's easier, isn't it? People do it all the time. In America, there's so many churches, it's easier just to bail on one and go to another. That's not how we grow. Getting mad, temper tantruming, and walking away is not how we grow as people. The richest friendships we'll ever have in this life, the richest relationships we'll ever have in this life are the ones where we go through conflict and overcome it. Because then you're stronger. All my best friends in the world, the bestest buddies I got, we've all had good fights. We've gotten mad, we've gotten offended, we've said things, but we were such good friends, we stayed, worked it out, and like a broken bone, the point of breaking became stronger. Our friendship became deeper and richer. In the same way, when you're in a church family, someone offends you, and you commit to the hard work of forgiving, of communicating, of making it right, there's a blessing there. In my personal life, some of you have received this phone call. In my personal life, if I feel any kind of conflict, you and me, I mean, even a hint of you annoying me, I'm going to call you. And it's the most awkward thing in the world. But I would rather be awkward and vulnerable than let disunity enter into our house. I call him like, dude, listen. We talked today. You're mad at the world. I hurt you somehow. That's a hard thing to do because maybe they're like, yeah, you did. Like, that could happen. You did offend me. Oh, and that's an emotionally taxing conversation. But you know what? It is worth it to hold on to unity. Behold how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. So it's really hard to maintain unity. It's really hard to promote unity. So why even bother? Why go through the emotional turmoil to keep unity in among God's family? Why should we be friends? Why should we care for one another? I'll give you 3 more. I'll give you 1.5 for the blessings that come from unity. There's a lot of blessings from unity. I'll give you a few. We'll see what happens. First, unity brings the blessing of future peace. Maintaining unity, it brings the blessing of future peace. I go to Matthew 5. I love this teaching of Jesus Christ. It's so wise. Matthew 5, we'll begin at verse 23. That's what it says. Jesus says, so if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come to offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with him to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge to the guard, and you be put in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Christ's teaching is very simple. He says, listen, when you have a problem with someone, deal with it quick. If you don't, it'll bite you in the rear. And it does. Whenever you have disunity, when you have bad blood, and you leave it out there in the world, it's a little landmine waiting to come back into your life someday. I'll give you an example. I went to turn on a mobile phone this last week. We walked into T-Mobile, and ran into a guy there who we have knowledge of one another. We went to the same circles, and there was peace between us, and he hooked us up on our T-Mobile bill. Booyah! Great. Like, I know you, you know me. Song, family. Like some kind of song. It was good. But 20 years ago, when I was in Watford, Michigan, I went into a cell phone place. I think it was Nextel, a long time ago. I went to the Nextel shop, and the guy working behind the counter was the guy I picked on in high school. A guy I had terrorized in high school. And guess what? When I saw him, I'm like, oh no. I know it's going to happen. I mean, he's putting some extra fees on there for me. He's wrecking my life. He's got a little bit of power. But the thing is, imagine when restaurants come down and the cook sees you and you were just brutal to him in high school. He's just like, that's bad. That's a bad thing. When you have bad blood all over the place, it's just waiting to make your life miserable. It's just out there, just going to hurt you. Guys, listen, come to terms quickly. If you don't, you're going to go to court, then you get to the guard, then you go to prison, and you ain't getting free this until you pay the last penny. When you maintain unity, you're keeping your future clear for future peace. There's a guy in high school who picked on all the time. And when I saw the guy next to him, I was like, how many guys did I pick on in high school? I did a list in my mind, and I went on a Billy Madison tour, calling all the guys I picked on to say sorry. That's really weird, right? But I was a bully. One of the guys I lived in kind of knew where we were, saw me, and I'm like, hey, listen, I just want to say, I'm sorry, I was a jerk. Your years, dude. My bad, not yours. I apologize. Clear the air. Because who knows when I'm on the other side of the road, broke down, he drives by me going, ha ha, or pulls over, hey brother, need some help. There's a difference in those two situations. When we leave bad blood all over the place, it hurts our life, man. You know what it's like? You know how they say when you leave a job, you give them 2 weeks' notice? Sometimes you don't want to get 2 weeks' notice, do you? You want to quit, right? Just, this place sucks, and you just leave, right? That feels good, kind of, a little bit. Glad it does. When you leave 2 weeks' notice, you say, listen, I got a better job and take off. You leave 2 weeks' notice. What's crazy is, I've left a lot of jobs. I've worked places, I've left jobs. Because I've always left well, you know what's nuts? When the going gets tough, I can go back to any job I've ever had. Because the door is still open. I've not burned the bridges. When you don't burn the bridges, you leave all these doors of blessing open for your own life. But when you burn down every place you've ever walked, you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. Christ says, come to terms quickly with your accuser. On the way to court. Nip it in the stinking bud. So, unity brings the blessing of future peace. I'm going to get to point number 3. Let's look at point number 3. So go ahead and put on the board for me, brothers, if you're so kind. Unity brings the blessing of community impact. I'm going to go to Acts chapter 2. When the church is born, one of its enduring qualities, one of the early church that everyone saw from the outside was the love that people have for one another. This is what happens. Acts 2:42. And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, the breaking of bread, and the prayers. Awe came upon every soul. Many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles, and all who believed were together They're together. They had all things in common. They were selling their possessions and belongings, distributing the proceeds to all as any had need, and day by day, attending the temple together, breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. People saw this community, this ecclesia, as the Bible calls it, this church. And the people really cared for them. When one person fell down, their neighbors gave a rip. In this world we live in, listen, in this world we live in, when people fall down, people are alone in a lot of ways, man. People fall down out there on the streets and they're alone. But when you're part of a family, you fall down, people give a rip, man. They're there to come alongside you. They might not have the, we don't know unless you're rich. We can cry with you, hurt with you, walk with you. In India, no one has money, but what happens in India in the church? When someone dies in the church, let's say my mother passes away, and the kids are all tore up. Someone from the church will come to the house and live there for days, won't they? Make all the meals to be cleaned and let the mourners mourn. Seeing it for the first time, I'm like, that is so beautiful. They're not trying to say the right thing. There's not what can you say. It hurts. They're just there with you, giving you the room you need to just hurt. When the watching world sees a place where the people love one another, it's going to turn heads, man. It's going to give us favor with the city. I pray that this work we call Flint City Church, that we can be a true blessing to our city. We can bring hope, real comfort, real love to the city we call Flint. And one of the things we're going to see, look at us, do we love each other? If we're fighting one another, what do we have to do to anybody else? I was at a conference and a pastor told a story. He got called, got a job at a new church, moved to the town, went to Kroger to buy some stuff. He's in line, talking to the cashier. Yeah, I'm new there, I'm a pastor. Oh, what church are you pastoring? Oh, I'm pastoring Beta. And the person was like, oh. Like, what? But the church was known for just splitting and running pastors off. And in town, that church's rep was one of drama and awfulness. And guess what they didn't see in their church? People being saved, people being baptized. They had no influence. Everyone knew those guys are all speaking hypocrites and fakers and jerks. But the church instead was a place where we loved one another and forgave one another. Committed to walk with one another. If we had unity among ourselves, it would lend us community favor, community impact. And I long for that. You know what's crazy? We're a young church. But in our short life, God has already been opening doors for us because of how we love people and how we love each other. That office across the street was a gift from the Lord because of how we walk in this community. So my encouragement to you is very simple. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. Here's a good application for you. Is there anyone in the family of God that you have got blood with, that you have beef with? Someone you're annoyed with, someone who they don't even know you're mad at them. In their heart, you're like, sticky guy, crumple. Maybe you let it go and forgive them. Say, Lord, it's no big deal. I'm going to forgive you. Maybe it was a big deal. Go talk to him. Say, hey, listen, man, I want you to know this hurt me. Just open the door of conversation to find some peace. It's worth having. One time in college, it's a dumb story to tell. It was my birthday one day in college. I didn't tell the story today, I'm sorry. Dang, I shouldn't open this door. I wouldn't have had that friendship. For some reason, when I was in college, I was single, and when you're single, sometimes you're like the whole world is out there, you know? There's all these amazing people, girls to date. So I had maybe 3 lines in the water. That makes any sense? See how some things would go? This is a terrible story. But no holding hands, no kissing, no nothing. Just talking, being upright, good dude. But there's a little flirtation action happening, you know? Well, I invited all 3 girls to the party. So they all came to the same room. 3 girls all at the same time, all in the same room, and all my friends were like, this is the most awkward thing I've ever been a part of. It was just awkward. Everyone knew what was happening, and it was a very terrible, tense, awkward, unfun experience. Now listen, if you have people in this church that you are not getting along with, you come to church Sunday, see that person, and immediately be awkward, on edge, upset. You make this house of God for yourself this unpleasant place. I encourage you. Don't be like young Ernesto being stupid. Instead, obey the Christ. Maintain unity in the bonds of peace. Make it right. Initiate conversation. Forgive. People here are going to hurt you. I'm going to let you down. I promise you that. If I guarantee the pastor, I'm going to fail you. Come to the state church. I'm just saying. I'm going to forget to call you back. I'm going to miss an important text. I'm going to talk to you. It's what's going to come. I forget. I'm going to walk away and leave you standing there. It's going to happen. Forgive me. Forgive each other. Be gracious. We need grace. Behold how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. As God continues to bless this work, He can bless the work of India. And it's a good life, guys. So forgive, initiate reconciliation, get to know people around you. Don't just come in here and run away and be like, oh, leave me alone. Meet somebody. We're supposed to be a family. Let's be a family. With that said, let's go ahead and pray. And as we're leaving, there are cards, prayer cards out there for Pastor David. Sign up for David's email list if you want to. And also, I guess there's a cake out there? Is that right?
Yeah.
What is it for?
For you.
Okay, I got a cake. Is this Pastor Appreciation Month? Yeah. So if you want, there's a cake that you guys got me. I don't know what's happening. Eat the cake is what I'm saying. Eat cake on the way out. Take a prayer card. Life is awesome. Let's go ahead and pray together. Father, thank you so much for this morning. You say it truly, Lord, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. Lord, let us as a people commit to brotherhood and sisterhood. Let us commit to talking, to forgiving and loving, to opening up our lives, to knowing and being known, to loving and being loved. It's how we grow. It's how we strengthen our faith. It's one of the gifts you've given us. So, Lord, let us be a people who go in unity together. And I ask, Lord, keep division and disunity at bay. When it comes, let us all have the spirit enough to know to resist it and fight against it. Bless this cake to our bodies. Amen.